Greeting, guys. As always, I'm your host with the most. You can call me Timothy because they call me Timothy, and I just want to welcome you to another mini pod. As you can see today, I'm just alone, but it's a mini pod that I just wanted to reflect back on the journey that we've had ever since the inception of just a pod, African Sexuality, whereby we were tackling the African Sexuality or Sonality book from Sylvia Tamale, who was a professor at the Makerere University in Uganda, where she borrowed the idea of osonality from Nigeria. Specifically, when we speak about osonality, it all concerns female pleasure. If you are one of them old ones, or one of the veterans, if you've read Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, you know there's a character of Mami Water, the goddess of love, and so forth. There are so many mythologies that are intersecting, and I just wanted us to gain a new perspective or a fresh look on what sexuality means to us as Africans. When we first realized that we could get pleasure from sex, let me keep it raw because that's the main aim of this podcast. We keep it real, we keep it raw, we keep it relevant, and most of it all, let's keep it raw today and real. So when we realized that we could gain pleasure from sex, now for us it's restricted by the same religion that was introduced unto us by the white man. We were told that it's not good to have sex before getting married, or to know your partner if you are not getting married to that same partner. I don't know why, and it stuck on our minds to an extent that we took it as a taboo. And even nowadays, if you go to church, it's a common thing that you've realized the pastor or the deacons or the trustees and everybody all the church elders who are involved, they'll tell you if you're not getting married to a certain sister or a certain lady in the church, you're not supposed to be having intimate relations with her. Yet, on the flip side, the whites use sex for pleasure. And furthermore, even if they get married, it's a contractual thing. So it's not that serious. So where does that leave us as Africans? I've been involved in different spaces apart from the social justice and other small organizations or community-based organizations that specifically deal with SRHR health. Most of them, first of all, I think I should have begun with differentiating between gender orientation or maybe sexuality, or maybe that's your assignment to go and take a look on it. But on Africa, mainly in the context of Rwanda, there's this thing they called kunyaza or kuroneza. It means stimulating pleasure from the labia in a woman's body. So stimulating pleasure from that. And in the old Rwandese age, it was the ladies. If you as a man would fail to satisfy a lady sexually, she was allowed to kick you out. Not only to kick you out, before you were kicked out, you were slammed properly. Because how can you arouse a lady and then fail to satisfy her? So it's that serious in some African countries. We've seen other African countries now misinterpreting the real idea behind African sexuality. Let's talk of like Sudan. I just thought and I'm not getting religious here and I'm not getting biased, but I thought all along it was just the Christians who were just messed up, like the pastors taking advantage of the congregants, going to pray for them, but we know the real motive behind praying for them. They would sleep with them, others mistreat them, others have kids with them. But I just realized that even in the Muslim community it happens. And it's not that I've just realized, because deep down I know both of us are humans, but to an extent where it gets to imams, the highest order of ranking imams in the Muslim community, asking ladies for sexual favors so that they could do a swala for them. It's really demeaning, because I feel like now people are starting to use religion as a how can I say it? They're using religion to fulfill their own motives or their own agendas, and it all stems from who introduced religion in Africa. So I know it's a long talk, and we really need to get the real facts behind it. If I can just indulge you for a moment, maybe you'd want to listen or view this. You can go to BBC Africa. BBC Africa have really documented it. They have documented African sexuality in Rwanda, and that's where I borrowed some of the ideas that I did on the earlier podcast that I had. They've borrowed ideas they have documentaries in Sudan and other different countries, mostly Nigeria. When it comes to Nigeria, you don't need to go there. And even in Kenya, because in Kenya we've been seeing like even kids are being used like with their parents. Their parents are the ones who are allowing these kids. It's happening. It used to happen in Kayole. I remember back in 2019 during the COVID season. I documented that, but it was quite demeaning. I almost got beaten up by the residents in Matopeni area, Spring Valley, because we were doing some short stories under the social justice and so forth. And there was also a program by Power 254, which is run by Boniface Mwangi. We were doing this project called Sauti Jasiri, and I was on the citizen journalism part. So we were really documenting the injustices that go around in the community. And I saw it fit to just talk about it here. What Njeri did, it's nice. It's nice. I saw the other day Kipchumba Murkomen commenting on it, saying that how do you feel? How can you feel proud when other journalists slam your country about the same thing that you've produced? Do you go ahead and just laugh? And I was like, to an extent, he was talking the truth, but to an extent, he was not really understanding why Njeri did what she had to do. Because I feel like Njeri is an activist, and she needed to express that issue, because in one way or the other, she or somebody close to her has undergone through the same commercial sex working or so forth, and that's why she did what she had to do. And then BBC only amplified it. But looking back on it, it's something that started a while ago. It's not something that's starting as of now. Now we don't really need to do a blame thing. We don't need to point fingers, but we need to go back and sit down and realize that there's more to the African sexuality thing than just having the mentality, being misogynistic, sexualizing everything, and creating walls or rift between different genders, and deciding which gender is superior to which, or which gender deserves more favors or more seats or so forth. So anyway, that was just a short excerpt of what I wanted to say. And looking back, it's been a while, because I remember African Sexuality was the season dropped actually on, if I'm not wrong, it dropped on 2023 May, because that was the day when I met with this good friend of mine from the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. She's called Jessica Anyu. So she's the one who gave me the book about African sexuality, and I saw it nice to at least do an audio book about it, because it really touched on some sensitive stuff that people just go by. And because many people don't like reading, so it's better if we did a video or we did an audio and then just publish it outside there, so that it could reach a wider audience. Yeah, and looking back, it's been close to two years, approximately 2 years since we did African Sexuality. And I just wanted to let you know that I was thinking of taking a few steps back and going back on African Sexuality, because yesterday I just reopened the ebook again on African Sexuality by Sylvia Tamale. And each and every time I open that book, I get a new perspective. I get a new understanding, different and quite enlightened than the perspective that I had before. Maybe it's biased, or maybe it was biased. And it's been a journey, and I want to appreciate you for being part of the community. And I just want you to keep to be engaged more, because as the time goes by and the seasons keep on going after and over and over again, there'll be surprises coming in. So stay tuned, and I hope to see you in the future. As always, I'm your host with the most. You can call me Timothy, and this is just a podcast where we keep it real, we keep it raw, we keep it rare, and most of it all, we keep it relevant. I'll attach the links to the videos on BBC Africa, on Matters Sexuality in Rwanda, Sudan, and Nigeria, and even in Kenya. If you haven't watched, go and watch them, and drop your comments below, and I'll see you on the next episode.